What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Smoking Tire Podcast. Give me a second for some paying of the rent. Right quick, if you love analog cars, I love analog cars, there's a good chance you'll love mechanical watches as well. We got style, performance, and practicality at the center of car and watch culture alike. Our choice for each says something about us, who we are, and what matters to us. Well, we like to think it does, at least. I do think it does. When I'm buying a watch, I like to take ownership of the experience as much as I can, and that's why I love StockX. StockX is the world's first online stock market of things for high-demand consumer products, including sneakers, watches, and handbags. StockX connects buyers and sellers using the same methodology as the world's stock markets, an anonymous, live, bid-ask market. All products are physically authenticated by StockX. Allowing participants to focus on the transparency of data available, including real-time market pricing, in-depth market analysis, individual portfolio tracking, historical sales, and volume metrics. All that sounds like a lot of information, but trust me, looking at that stuff is better than just trying to figure out, is this a fake or not? And that's what you spend most of your time doing when buying watches on the internet. That means no stressing about shady buyers and sellers, no lengthy descriptions, no blurry pictures. All watches are in excellent or better condition. What's better than excellent, you might add? Brand new in box. That's better. That's sort of how I bought my gold G-Shock. All you have to worry about is finding the watch you want, placing a bid you feel comfortable with. StockX makes buying and selling watches online a lot better. Trust me. Give it a try yourself at StockXWatches.com/smoking. That's StockXWatches.com/smoking. All right, speaking of smoking, the other thing I like smoking besides tires and is meat. I love smoking meat, and summer is here. It's barbecue time. Fire up that smoker and bust out some of that Omaha Steaks goodness. This summer, I got a special hot deal for you from Omaha Steak. 24 of the butcher's favorites with the Grill Ready collection for $39.99. That's an average of like less than $2 per item in this box. And like a couple of those items are way more expensive than that. Whoa! I have gotten a couple of crates from Omaha Steaks in the past, and they've gone straight from the crate with the dry ice into my freezer. I pull them out, thaw them 30 or 40 minutes before it's time to cook, and boom, steaks, burgers. Actually, you know what I do with the burger patties? I don't make like hamburgers because I just don't eat a lot of burgers at home. I take the hamburger patties and make like Asian rice bowls out of them, and that's actually awesome. Me and Hannah do that all the time. The quality's good, highest quality cuts of beef with one-of-a-kind flavor. It's all USDA inspected for quality and aged for 21 days to unlock the flavor and tenderness. And here's what you're going to get. Limited time offer for the summer. Go to omahasteaks.com and you type tire in the search bar. I know that's a little weird, okay? Hear me again. omahasteaks.com. Tire in the search bar, all right, and you go, it takes you to this special deal for $39.99. It's 80% off. I like 80% off almost anything. Here's what you get: 2 filet mignons, 2 top sirloins, 4 boneless pork chops, 4 boneless chicken breasts, 4 all-beef Omaha steak burgers, 4 kielbasa sausages, 4 award-winning gourmet jumbo franks, 1 Omaha Steaks seasoning packet, and 4 caramel apple tartlets. That's the caramel apple tartlets are super, super dangerous, and part of the reason I can't eat desserts now because I had 8 of them in my house for a while and ate all of them. I was the bad man. And get it for $39.99 at omahasteaks.com. Remember, type the word tire in the search bar and get that grill ready collection to your cart in time for summer. omahasteaks.com and type tire in the search bar. Last but not least, think of all the things about cars that make you go, again. Like, why is their piano black still being used? Why did anyone ever come up with the idea of haptic feedback on touchscreen panels? Ew! And also, something that makes you wonder in a good way, Continental belts. That's right. I know. I didn't think you didn't think I was going there, but I went there, folks. Bet you didn't know. Continental belts are original equipment in tens of millions of Chrysler, Dodge, Ford, and GM vehicles that roll off the assembly line. They're also original equipment on the majority of BMWs and Volkswagens. And now Continental is launching an aftermarket multi-V belt with the OE pedigree. It's their OE Technology Series, belts that are fanatically engineered for perfect fit, form, and function, and Continental has an OE Technology Series multi-V belt for 98% of the vehicles on the road in the US and Canada. Hey, you get enough surprises working on cars and trucks. A belt should not be one of them. Go with the Continental OE Technology Series multi-V belt, the belt with the OE pedigree. To get the full story, visit oetechnologyseries.com. That's oetechnologyseries.com. All right, on this episode of the podcast, Mr. Mike Musto and myself are in San Francisco for the launch of the 2019 Ford Mustang Bullitt. And I don't know if the Bullitt video will be up at the same time as this podcast, but if it doesn't go up, it'll be up the day after, if not the day before this podcast. But this is me and Mike Musto actually driving back from a great video shoot towards our hotel in the new Bullitt Mustang, and we talk about all different kind of stuff from our history together back in 2006 and 7 at the New York Motor Club, and about making videos, journalism. We do talk about the Bullitt itself, although it's not a full review. I've got a written review of that. But either way, here you go. That's the end of the primer. It's me and my old friend Mike Musto of the House of Muscle on the Smoking Tire Podcast. Welcome to Point Reyes, folks. This is gonna be an on the road podcast. I did a long one take, Mike Musto, that was like an hour long.
That's a big one take.
It was a big one, and as a one take, it only presented kinda well.
Right.
Because anytime you change something from what people expect,
well, you out
it's
of the norm,
not
people
good.
Freak out.
It's not good. But now that I'm doing the podcast on video, we find ourselves here in the car with 40 minutes or so.
Perfect.
To get to back to the hotel. We've got batteries. We've got an audio recorder. We found a stick.
We've got Pellegrino.
we found a straw to turn the audio recorder on. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Is it weird to have someone ask you how you are when they've been in the car with you for 3 hours already?
No, it's you. I don't know if people realize how long we've actually known each other.
2007? Seven, right? Yeah. Because I forgot where I think I found you.
I met you at a charity event.
I met you briefly at a charity event, but it was was it before you were on Bull Run or after?
I think it was right after that, and it was...
It was right after you wrapped the TV show, Bull Run TV show.
I had come into some charity run in the city.
Yeah.
And it was when you first started...
The city! That was
YMC.
when Jim Glickenhaus brought out the Lola, right?
That's exactly right.
Oh, yeah. There was like a hospital thing, right?
Yeah.
It was I forget what the hospital was. But yeah, me and Larry put together a New York Motor Club drive to the city, and Jim Glickenhaus brought a Lola T70 that raced at Le Mans.
That's right.
And then he put air conditioning in and had
plates on it and everything else, which was ridiculous.
And 30 or 40,000 street miles, if I remember correctly.
In fact, it's funny, you're still in my phone as Matt NYMC.
NYMC, that's really funny. The New York Motor Club. If people want to see the oldest videos that we ever made,
go look.
Me and Larry, they're still there.
Yeah.
The New York Motor Club on YouTube, and they're really terrible.
But that's where kind of all of us started.
Right.
So we all kind of cut our teeth was going out and doing these
the drives and making videos.
250-mile runs in the morning, meeting at 6 a.m. and going Bear Mountain and everything else.
Those were fun. I can't it's not that I can't do those anymore, like, because people do those.
It's the problem is the insurance and God forbid problem, you know.
Oh, dude, I would just never go back to organizing them. Hell no, I'm not about that anymore. I can't even, like, go on them anymore.
No.
Not that I am anyone that's that cool, but, like, people get around me in cars. I don't know about you, but
they do stupid shit to impress you.
Stupid shit.
And everybody wants to race, and everybody wants to show you that they can drive, and don't do that. Like, just don't.
I've seen some really. I've gotten the biggest tickets I've ever gotten, you know, on those types of events, and I've seen the dumbest things, you know, that people do in cars. I've seen on those types of events.
Yeah.
But back in the day, like 06, 07, those New York Motor Club drives were some Wild West shit, man.
Well, we would go out. We'd go out at 6 a.m., 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
And the routes that would be planned, they were actually fantastic routes.
You're welcome.
Yeah, no,
that was
great.
Me. That was my. I was not good at washing cars.
No,
my work ethic was only average, but I was really good at Google Maps. And making routes.
The runs that we did, and we had everything from, again, this was back in early 2000, well, late 2000s. So you would have like Ford GTs and 996 turbos and Gallardos.
Yeah.
Aston Martins and stuff like that.
A lot of C6, Z06.
A lot of C6, Z06s.
And a lot of M5s.
A lot of M5s.
Yeah.
A lot of like E60 M5s.
Heavy on the M6s. Remember, we had like 4 or 5 guys in the New York Motor Club that had manual transmission M6s.
Yeah.
That was the first car I was ever in over 200 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Manual transmission M6 convertible.
Well,
remember that guy's name, the red one?
Oh yeah.
Anthony.
Yeah.
Anthony.
Well, there was a bunch of guys. Who was the guy with the red vet? Was Jimmy?
Jimmy. He was the guy who like wasn't a cop but worked for the cops.
He worked for the town.
Yeah.
And so he knew all the police in the area. So anytime you would go out, God forbid something was there, Jimmy would walk. And Jimmy was great. Jimmy had like this big, he was an Italian guy, this big pompadour that was always slicked back, and he smoked so much weed.
Yeah.
And he would always, like, God forbid something happened, he would just get us out of any trouble.
It was awesome.
Which was good.
So. Shout out to Jimmy.
Yeah.
Even if I could remember his last name, I wouldn't say
Larry would remember his last name.
Yeah.
Larry would know.
Some of them guys, it was so funny because the New York Motor Club was so childish. Like,
but
me
so
and Larry were like 24, 25. And we had guys who were like pillars of the community that would sit down and really take the membership process.
Well, and that was all it. I mean, and you guys,
it was like Lord of the Flies.
Yeah, you guys don't understand. Like,
crazy.
Larry and Matt had this little garage that they would detail out of, and they would all of a sudden have $2 million worth of supercars.
Yeah.
In front of it, and people would be like, "What is going on?"
It was because they wanted Larry to work on their car because he was the best,
right? And they wanted you to do the
They wanted
the
to
routes.
sit down for fucking a half hour and waste my time.
Yeah.
Those guys would. All they wanted to do was like just hang out, bullshit, have somewhere to go,
right?
And so that was what the club was about, was like really just giving those dudes a place to go, because it was like, you know, super suburbia.
Oh yeah, but it was fun. But you do it on a Saturday morning early or Sunday morning early, and you'd be home by 10 o'clock.
Oh, it was great. And we'd fucking be mobbing. I mean, in New York, like at 5 in the morning in the New York tri-state area, you can drive real fast. Yeah.
Well, then you remember the ego runs we would do through the city?
Oh, it was fun.
So we would do these things we called ego runs, and we would go into Manhattan at like 10 o'clock at night to like 1 o'clock. And this is when you could still drive through like Times Square.
Yeah.
And we would show up with 20 or 30 supercars. And
it's the kind of thing I roll my eyes at now.
Well, now you do.
When people tell me they're doing that, I'm like, oh, thank God I'm not there. It was fun when we did it, but now that you're doing it, it's cool
lame. Yeah. But it was, I mean, just picture that in New York City with all these tourists and you're rolling through. And again, we were kids. We were kids.
Yeah.
Right?
I was literally, I was like 24. I was a kid.
You were a kid. I was mildly older.
Have we? I don't know if we've actually introduced, by the way, because we're in a car, we're driving, and you're probably the folks are listening to exhaust. And this is the Bullitt, the new Bullitt.
This is the 2019 Bullitt.
Yeah, so it sounds good. There's a little light here. It sounds good. It makes nice sounds. It's 480 horsepower. We can go back to talking about New York Motor Club, but I just figured like someone out there. I mean, I'm sure I'll put it in the video.
It's probably going to say, "What are you driving?"
It's gonna be like, "What the fuck? What am I hearing? What are you driving?"
Yeah.
But dude, MYMC back in the day. Oh, sorry.
That's all right.
You know, dude, we had the logo, the sticker. You know, you had to be.
Oh yeah, there was a
stickers.
membership process.
Yeah.
So like you had to be vetted to get in.
It was great. We were dicks. I just wonder. I want to go back and I want to revisit. I don't remember any of them. I know that we turned people down. We did.
Oh, well, there's no question. Because I remember having the conversations about, what do you think of this guy?
But I don't remember who they are or anything now. I bet they do. If you're out there and you listen to this show and we rejected you for New York Motor Club membership,
sorry.
No, I want to hear from you. I want to hear your story.
But that was the start of like everything. That was the start of like Larry's detailing.
Yeah.
That was the start of Matt doing video and me doing video and writing and everything else. And it was one of those things that where it was just a bunch of car guys that got together.
Yeah, the videos were for the club. I wrote the New York Motor Club blog.
Yeah.
And that was where I started doing writing.
Yep.
And it grew really fast. I think by the end of the first year it was like 75 members or something. And I was actually glad to have discovered making videos because I remember we had one event that was like a lot of people, a lot.
Yeah.
And I just went, well, this isn't going to last.
Right.
Someone's going to go to jail.
Someone's
going to go to jail. It's probably going to be me.
Well,
you know, like.
Well, there was a guy. Was it Sergio? Remember, he flipped his M5.
Oh yeah.
So there, and that's the whole thing, right? Because you do get a group of people together.
Yeah, he did have a crash.
Yeah. And you get people get overzealous and you know, like we always had fun, but we were always responsible in the same way. But there were some guys that just got a little out of hand. And
well, that's the problem with that group mentality. You know, it's even when I'm on a road and going quick and I'm by myself,
that's one thing.
I'm well aware of the fact of what I'm doing, but if you surround yourself, and especially this is true, I think, in the multi-day events.
Yeah.
You get that starting line mentality from the hotel every morning. Yeah. That's a recipe.
That was like all the bull run things that we did and all that stuff.
All of those road rallies, it doesn't matter the brand, have the same exact kind of issue. Yeah. That starting line, finish line.
It's like a Le Mans start. People come out and all of a sudden it's just balls out.
Just a bunch of hungover folks on 3 hours of sleep.
And
like
600 horsepower cars. It's not a good recipe for anything.
Well,
it is fun.
I think I don't know the circumstance. You know, there's almost every year you do hear about a crash on an event like that. And not to play, I don't want to play holier than thou by any fucking means, because we were there.
Yeah, no, we did it. Yeah.
But I'm just saying that the opinion of 26-year-old Matt and the opinion of 36-year-old Matt are not the same. Maybe I'm just crotchety now. I don't know.
Wait till you get to be my age.
Yeah. 46. Are you 44?
No, 46. Notice the gray in
is
the
that
beard.
where my face is gonna?
Yeah.
If I knew that my beard would end up like so nice and symmetrical and shit like that, like your symmetry is really on point.
Well, this is brand new, and this only came about because literally one day my wife was just like, "Have you ever grown your beard out?" And I go, "No." She goes, "Why don't you try it?" I go, "Okay."
She suggested that.
She likes it. My wife likes it.
That's so interesting.
So, and it just happened to come in where I had like natural racing stripes, and I was like, well, it kind of works.
Yeah.
But what's amazing is that I could post a video, and I get more comments on the fact that I now have a beard than anything else, and it blows my mind.
Has it driven traffic?
It has.
Hashtag
like it's got its own like.
Have you hashtag beard light?
You know, it's just. And I wasn't ever one of those guys, like obviously the hipster guys. Like I literally grew a beard because my wife was just like, why don't you try it? And I was like, yeah, okay.
No, you're old enough, you can't approach hipster. You've gone straight to Santa Claus.
There's
no hipster
I know.
You. If I don't shave, what ends up happening is it's very like splotchy and uneven, what's gray and what's brown.
Right.
Like if I had that kind of symmetry, oof, I would be very happy with that. But I can't fuck with that. I also can't get past the itchy phase. The itchy phase is tough. Days 7 through 14 are brutal.
There was, when it first started, it got to the point where I was like, that's it, I can't do it. And then like if anybody out there's ever like grown their hair long, there is that stage.
The Chevy Love or fucking whatever this shitbox is.
Toyota is doing 30 on one of the best roads in Northern California.
Should we stop? What should we do?
I don't.
Should we flash or honk?
No, because the guy.
Is there a passing zone anywhere?
No. Well, there might be. The problem is it's really tight.
well, we have 480 horsepower. This is the Bullitt.
Yeah.
Mike.
So the Bullitt has.
That looks like it could be a straightaway. Is that a straightaway?
Yeah.
No.
Not really. I mean, the cool part about it, it's really funny because we were talking about this car yesterday, and the one that I had, this one's equipped with the Magna-Ride suspension, which is actually fantastic.
Yeah, you can get. See, that's the thing. Bullitt. I think because there are so many more options available to the Mustang now,
right?
Different seats, different
suspensions, different dashboard, different this,
yeah, all of that doesn't automatically come with Bullitt.
Right.
Bullitt is fundamentally a trim package,
right?
And then you still have to choose your performance options.
You want.
Yeah, actually, I think that's a disservice to call it a trim. It's 20 horsepower in a trim package, right?
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's an intake, a pair of throttle bodies. There's two of them, right?
Yeah.
Pair of throttle bodies and a tune. Mm-hmm. That's what you
get. That's it. And that's another 20 horsepower. So from 460 to 480, and it feels fast. Yeah. And
feels
here's
fast.
the thing: the exhaust note on this thing, inside the car it's great, but outside when you hear this thing rip by at speed, it sounds fantastic. Like they really dialed it in now. So you're like that, and it kind of reminded me of the 5 liters. Like, every single 5 liter.
You're saying a 5 liter reminds you of a 5 liter, Mike? Your profoundness is fucking staggering.
It is ridiculous. But I'm talking about the 5 liters. Well, you have one. But I remember the 5 liters when they were new. And every time you saw them, you were like, that's a 5 liter Mustang.
Oh, you can hear it. You can tell. It has a distinct tone.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful house. I love these houses.
Well, but whereby, like, my S197 that I used to have sounded like a wet fart.
Yeah.
Like, that did not sound... Stock did not sound good.
Yeah, they've engineered some throatiness into it.
This sounds good. It's got the burbles and pops and
this fucking truck, dude. How do you not know? Here's why.
I just think he doesn't give a shit. He thinks he's flying because he's a 25-year-old fucking pickup.
I'm just flashing.
Yeah, this guy in the BMW is probably just like,
I'm not flashing him. He has to know.
No, he does because he tried to get around the pickup early.
Oh, he tried to make that.
Yeah, he pulled out just to be like, dude, get the fuck out of the way. Oh, thank you, God.
Is he getting out of the way? Is he turning? What's he doing? Are we just in town?
I thought he was getting out of the way.
Is this where I have to make a pass at 30 and a 10? Get a reckless like Seth bull run? God. Were you there for that? You weren't there for that, right? In Colorado, Seth was driving that GTR in Telluride and got pulled over and ticketed doing 30 and a 10, and that was a reckless, and he had to go back and report.
This tightens up, and then I think there's a stop sign at the end of this town you might be able to get around.
Literally just drive around this guy at the stop sign. That would be so dick. If we weren't on video, if this was audio only, that might be the kind of thing I would do. On video, I just can't.
No.
But Jesus.
Yeah.
Well, our podcast is just getting longer. That's what's happening.
Well, yeah. So, talk to me about your Porsche. What stage are we at? Or what stage are you at with that thing?
We are at the bodywork stage.
Go.
Flashy. Don't ever do that, people. That's illegal.
Yeah.
But I think he gave us the high sign by lifting.
Well, and here's the other thing.
And also, the BMW did it first.
He did, but the Toyota pickup was actually going under the speed limit, too.
Oh, is that a cop? Oh,
wow.
Wow, talk about timing. Oh, my God, that
was close.
Something tells me...
And we dodged that bullet.
Fucking Officer Krupke back there would not be thrilled with that particular maneuver.
Northern California.
So the Porsche's in Atlanta with Lee. Mm-hmm. They're doing the body work, which is like the shortened, the Euro bumpers, the tighter ones instead of the ugly US ones. Yeah. And then they got to do a little bit of, obviously, paint the new body work. The
Are you keeping it the same color?
Yeah.
You are?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I actually like that color quite a bit.
I did too. Once I saw it in person and it photographs. A good photographer will make that car look amazing.
Yeah.
A bad photographer will make it look terrible, and that's the nature of that color. And I'm not afraid to say that, like, when I said it was ugly originally, like, that was incomplete information. I was wrong.
Right.
Okay. So, and then they're doing interior, they're doing the body work, and the roof rack, and I got these wheels from Braid. Have you heard of Braid?
Yeah.
Made in America. Mm-hmm. They're typically like it's a motorsport wheel. They make a lot of like rally wheels and shit.
Yep.
So they have. Oh, come on.
You got the room?
Nope. No, I don't.
Oh, that guy just.
They have a Porsche RSR type wheel.
Okay.
So it's gonna be like that. It looks like a Fuchs RSR Fuchs-ish wheel. And the good news is the motor's done.
That's the best news on anything.
The motor's done. There were no surprises in the engine,
good.
which is good. They found, there's a couple parts they had to replace that just looked
but it's
worn.
still a 35-year-old Porsche.
Fine.
Doesn't matter.
And hold please.
By the way, this is a split line, so we are more than righteousness to do this.
They didn't find anything weird. We found some supplier who was the only guy in Southern California that powder coats air-cooled fan blades.
Okay.
Went on vacation, so there was like a 2-week delay to get, because the fan in the air-cooled engine, if you open a 911, the main fan you see there, it was a little worn, so they refurbed it and powder coated it cassis red to match the car.
Very nice.
Really cool.
Okay.
But that guy went on vacation, so they had to wait. But yeah, it's fine.
Good.
And it was really expensive, but it's fine.
Yeah, well, I'm learning.
I learned from Larry. Larry told me about his experience with his 964.
Yeah.
And what everything cost on that, and that was a real eye opener. And
oh, this guy's being nice.
Thank you for that guy. What's the hazards on this fucker? Oh, here we go. Thank you to him. Yes! 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 Love you all. I love you all, you respectful folks.
Now, here's the thing. With this car in particular, we were talking about, like, the Magna Ride was $1,600, $1,800 option on this car?
Yeah.
It is
worth
100% worth it.
Not only worth it, I would go so far as to call it mandatory.
Yeah, I would, because I had one that didn't have the Magna Ride yesterday, and it was I hate to say it, pogoed all over the place in the rear, but it did.
It was so funny because, I drove one yesterday that had Magna Ride, and unlike other presentations, unlike other press launches on this one, like, we just showed up and got in cars, like...
Right, they didn't tell you...
There wasn't
shit. Yeah, they didn't tell you what was what in regards to this is a such and such, or this is a such and such, meaning, it has...
Oh, he gave me a wave.
Did he?
Yeah! You know what? I have a really good symbiotic relationship with the police. Honestly,
that's good.
I'm so nice to them, and if I go quick and I get busted, I don't put up a fight.
Well, and nor should you, because if you get nailed, you're in the wrong, and they go, do you know what you're doing? And you go, yes.
Yeah.
And they go, okay.
But I forgot the Magna Ride. Yeah, so I didn't know. We got to dinner last night, and some people were going, fucking ass end of this thing was bouncing all over the place, and I go, maybe I don't know anything about cars, because I was like,
no.
Yeah, this is pretty good on bumping.
It was the suspension, because like I said, I had the stock suspension, did not have the Magna Ride. It was night and day. It really, truly was a night and day ride difference.
Yeah.
So, no, this is great. It's comfortable, it's compliant, does everything you want it to do. But it is kind of expensive.
Yeah, it's 47 base, and base is pretty base.
Yeah. Base is like these are the normal leather covered seats, which are nice, they're comfortable.
Right, but these are heated and cooled because you have tech pack.
Right.
So they would not be that.
Right, and if you got the Recaros, you would not have heated, you wouldn't have cooled.
Right.
You do get leather, but they're manually adjusted. You don't have any electronics behind them.
I really, all these Mustangs, you sit too high. Why do you sit so high?
Well, I can't put a helmet on.
I'm too close.
In this.
I can get a helmet on, but my head will be brushing the ceiling.
Yeah.
Where are we? What town is this?
I don't have any idea.
We are in
Fairfax.
Fairfax? Oh yeah, Fairfax. Sir Francis Drake Boulevard, Fairfax. What's happening in your garage right now?
Just a lot. I mean,
you got a Demon.
Bought a Demon, which is the world's fastest couch.
Do you enjoy it?
Yeah, I do actually. I do. Here's the thing. The Demon is like, as long as you use the Demon for its intended purpose, and
which is what, cruising and drag racing?
That's absolutely its intended purpose. Like,
can it get around a corner?
Actually, yeah, fairly well.
Do you have the normal wheels or slicks and skinnies on it.
I have the 18-inch with the drag slicks, but then I also have the wheel and tire package, which is the same exact wheel and tire that you'd find on the wide-body Hellcats.
So it's 305s all around.
305, yeah, with the drag slicks are 315 40 18s on the 18s, and then it's a 305 35 20 on the big ones.
Okay.
So it actually it handles really well, believe it or not, when you put it in sport mode. In drag mode, it feels like a 72 Chevelle.
See, that's good. Because a Hellcat is bouncy.
No, this is fabulous.
So the bounciness is gone.
Bounciness is gone.
That's key.
And listen, is it going to go around a corner like a Hellcat? Absolutely not. But is a Hellcat going to launch like a Demon? Absolutely not.
No, but a Hellcat, I mean, look, I think for what they are, Hellcats do handle pretty good.
Well, and that's the whole thing. You're talking about
especially the wide body.
Yeah, and you're talking about a 4,500-pound car.
Right.
So if you listen from it, people like I get emails all the time of people.
Look at that sign: immigrants and refugees welcome.
Wow, Northern California.
Yeah, Fairfax, California.
Come
Shout
here.
out. Yeah. So when you're cruising it around,
it's great.
You're launching
it's a puppy dog around town, and then it's a Jekyll and Hyde when you step on the gas, and you can have fun. And it really is. It's a giggle machine. I mean, that's what it was made to do, and it's actually a lot of fun to go to the drag strip with it, and kind of when you go with that car, you have a target on your back immediately.
Oh yeah, everybody's
like, you're not running 960s, and you're like, well, no.
Wait, did I just mess up? No.
No, you're going good.
Pacheco Avenue.
That's you stay right up
next
here.
One?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
In 1/10 of a mile, turn
basically
right
when you
onto Pacheco Avenue and then turn left.
Oh, thank you. When you go to the drag strip, you kind of have to diffuse the crowd and just be like, yeah, I'm still learning, blah blah blah. Which
oh my God, you have to set them up.
You kind of have to set the crowd up, and they go, okay. But the fact of the matter is this: you still go to the drag strip with this car. And out of the gate, like I ran 1030s at 132, like just pedaling it, no trans brake, no anything.
Right.
And everybody was like, "Holy shit!" And you're like, "Yeah, it really is fast. Like it does what it says it's going to do."
And I imagine, the virtue I thought of the Hellcat was the 100 to 160 roll.
Right.
That was where I really was, because below that you're doing burnouts.
Right.
And that was where I was really like, oh, this is some next level shit.
Right.
And I imagine it's like that, right?
Yeah, but the Demon is 0 to 140, 150 roll. And that's where it does.
Really
so
above 100 is less. I mean, not less exciting, it's the same, but with more, right?
With more, yeah. And there is a noticeable difference. Yeah, it's a 309.
Instead of?
262.
Oh, yeah.
So you can put in, and like we just went to the launch of the Hellcat Red Eye, which is basically a Demon motor with a different Challenger with a different suspension than the Demon, but it has the Demon motor and a few other bits and bobs on it, which was
really milking that one, huh?
Well, here's the deal: if you don't go drag racing, that's the one you buy.
Right.
That's just the one you buy because it has all the power of the Demon, and has a faster top speed. Technically, because of the aero on it, because they have a different induction system for the hood, and a different hood, and it is a bit slipperier. But still, I mean, listen, they're not sports cars; they're Grand Touring cars, and it's a drag car.
Yeah.
And drive it like that, and it's the best car in the world.
Yeah.
Like if I was going to go on a road trip, I would 1,000% take the Demon.
Can it manage like 15 on the highway?
I said 24.
Oh, really?
Dude, you put it. It's got an eco mode.
Oh, really? Cylinder deactivation?
It doesn't have cylinder deactivation, but like if you put it in eco
disconnect
mode,
the blower clutch.
I don't know how it works.
Probably.
No, I don't think it does actually. It's just not turning, and it's just so over-engineered that the fact is, at 70 miles an hour, 75 miles an hour, you're pulling 24 miles to the gallon.
That's great.
Which is fine.
For 800 horsepower?
And it cuts it from 800 down to 500 in eco mode.
Oh, it's basically probably like the Valet. Yeah, it's probably. I bet you they bypass the blower.
Yeah,
it's probably got a thing for that.
I'll ask.
Yeah,
we'll figure that out.
But a nice little Regal.
Otherwise, I mean, got the Demon. We bought the Demon through the House of Muscle, so that's like our flagship car that we use it for. And then I bought a 912. I have a 928.
The 928, which is an Excellence magazine next month.
It will, October issue, which is so much more of. I knew I was going to like it. I didn't know I was going to really fall in love with it. And everybody was like, when I first got it, everybody's like, why did you buy a 928? Like, and I would look at people and go, have you ever driven one?
Yeah.
And they go, no. And I go, then you have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, I drove one, and I thought it was really nice. I thought it was tight, and it was a fun. It was definitely a GT car, but it was 100%. A fun GT car.
Right.
I don't. You know, the one thing about it is, a 911 or a Cayman or a Boxster is really a unique driving experience.
Right.
And the one point against, I would say, for the 928 is that I didn't find the overall experience to be unique in the way that a 911 is, or, you know, it's like other cars. It's
Right.
front engine, rear drive.
Right.
It's sort of a familiar experience.
It is.
Yeah.
I absolutely agree with that.
Yeah.
And look at that Cadillac. Like
Oh,
that,
shit,
That's
that's
like an old
bitchin'.
airport car.
Yeah,
That's like
that
a
was
60
cool.
airport car.
I like that. NorCal's good for some weirdo stuff.
Dude, there's
right?
some great stuff up here. But no, it's good. It's a great, like, drive it from San Francisco to LA at 100 miles an hour, and it's
Yeah.
brilliant. It's small, much smaller than people than
Yeah.
people realize. But it's it fits kind of what I like, which is V8 rear wheel drive.
Yeah.
The dogleg manual is brilliant.
Being inside it almost is about the size of a current Corvette.
Yeah,
It's pretty small.
yeah, it's tiny. But yeah,
And you have to get the manual. The autos suck balls.
Yeah, here's the thing. If you are going to deli it, fine. You want an auto, get an auto. But the manual just wakes the car up to a point where you can really kind of have fun with it. You can play. And mine, I have a 32 valve. So I have an 86 with the big 32 valve, and it's great. It's not what I would like. A Toyota Camry will kick the shit out of it in a straight line. But it's still a 150 mile an hour car. It'll still do 0 to 60 in 5.5 seconds. Like, it's still valid.
Yeah,
Right?
Not slow.
Not slow,
Not slow.
but yeah, it's fun. And then bought my wife a Grand Wagoneer. I sold my Mustang and my Trans Am.
Stolen. Your Bonnie got stolen.
Well, my Monte Carlo got stolen. Yeah.
They never found that thing.
No,
did
they found parts of it. Fuck. They found parts of it.
That sucks.
And that was that. And that sucks because that was a good car.
Yeah.
Like,
Unlike
once
the
it was-
Trans Am, that was a bad
Which
car.
was kind of a
It was a good example
of a bad car. Yeah. Like you
The idea of those turbo Trans Ams seems like turbo Trans Am.
amazing. Awful. Just awful. But it looked amazing. It was a cartoon character. I had to get it out of my system.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the Jeep, our Grand Wagoneer, you can't go anywhere, especially in Northern California,
Yeah.
where people are like, "Do you want to sell that?
Yeah.
You want to sell that? You want to
Yeah.
sell that?" And it gets the
You
worst.
should put a sign on it that says "Make offer, better be high as fuck."
Huge.
Huge offer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Make huge offer.
Yeah.
Accepting
Massive offers.
stupid money.
Yeah.
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 Are you so rich that it genuinely doesn't matter what you pay for
Yeah.
this vehicle? They're all going to Nantucket.
Dude, they're-
my boy Carl Ruiz was just out on Nantucket, Opie Radio podcast.
Okay.
And he said, I mean, I kind of knew this before because I've been to Nantucket, but everyone is hoarding Land Rovers
I
and
know.
Wagoneers and Land Cruisers
know.
and sending them out to Nantucket.
And they rejected our plate. So
What plate?
It was going to be so waspy. And the California DMV.
The letters were available?
Yeah, it's so waspy. We spelled it out, and they were like, "No," for the fact that this will probably offend people. I'm like, how do you
Bro,
offend
you gotta
white
get
people?
all you got to do is get an empty beehive. Buy one or rent a beehive. Put a picture of that bitch in your backyard. No bees, just the hive.
Right.
And then when they ask you to explain it, you go, "I'm a beekeeper, bro."
Yeah, dude, this is it.
That
That's
would
what you
remember
need.
make you poo.
I still don't understand how you got that.
I
was
told
so-
them I was a makeup salesman. It was makeup 00. Makeup. But it was make you poo. And that's
was-
how I got it by. The IRS
Yeah.
is an independent
Yeah.
rear suspension bit.
Well,
as far as the state knows, it's a tax bit. For
Well,
me.
you know Jason Kamisa, right?
Yeah.
So on the back of his Lotus, it says his license plate literally says "I hate everyone."
That's very funny.
So yeah, the California DMV, they're a little wonky.
How long
as
has he
far as-
had that plate?
I mean, got it this year.
Really? I'm surprised.
Got it this year.
They wouldn't. I tried to get Grimace
Right.
for the 911
Yeah.
with a number. They won't let you use substitute numbers for letters.
Oh.
But
really?
they will let you substitute their little fucking emoticons.
Oh.
So I could get like GR heart MAC or GR handprint MAC.
Yeah.
It's so dumb.
No, that's dumb.
This is weird. It's like a highway, but you can
Kind
just
of.
imagine
Launching
someone
into
just,
that parking lot.
Woo!
Yeah.
Straight up launch.
Well, I got Risky Biz on the back of the 928.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. It's
Oh, that's a good one.
RZKYBZ. Risky biz. Yeah.
It's a risky bit.
Risk. So. But yeah, no, it's
Do you cosplay in it with a white shirt and tidy whities?
only at Radwood.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
I had my Radwood outfit, the Biggie Smalls
Yeah.
outfit, and that I wore on New Year's, unironically. I wore it to the club. I wore it to the club on New Year's. Dude,
Did you have the change?
Yeah, I
Okay.
got stopped by everybody. Bro, where'd you get that sweater? I was like, is it a real Coogi? Like, yeah, it's a real Coogi.
It's Bill Cosby circa
Where'd you
1986.
find that? It's and it was really expensive. It was like $350. It's the exact Biggie one from the famous picture. That's why it was so expensive. Because it's the other Coogi sweaters don't cost anything, but if you want the actual one that Biggie wore,
That's the one.
It costs a lot of money. Yeah. I could probably flip it. It probably costs more now, honestly.
Yeah.
I
Well, I feel
probably-
like everything does, though.
I kept it. I'm gonna wear it again. Oh, I should have brought it for. I can still bring it. Radwood Grid Life.
Yeah.
Atlanta.
Aren't you taking a Jeep out there, right?
Yeah, I'm doing Radwood. It's gonna be August 24th, 5th, 6th.
Okay.
It's the same weekend as Pebble, so you're probably gonna be at Pebble.
I'm gonna go to Pebble.
Yeah, I'm going back to Pebble next year. But yeah, Road Atlanta, Grid Life. It's grid.life is
Okay.
the website. And there's going to be a Radwood there, and I think it's on Saturday, which is the 25th.
Okay.
I'm
Radwood is
Trackhawk.
great.
Have you driven Trackhawk?
Oh, yeah.
Is it awesome?
It's a lot. You have to use launch control.
Okay.
And do 0 to 60 runs in
Uh-huh.
it because it will slap you back in.
I like
It's
that.
fun.
Is it going to hold up to some laps at Road Atlanta?
Oh yeah.
It will?
Oh
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
dude. We beat the crap out of it on the track. And it didn't give a shit.
How about the brakes?
Brakes are good.
Get a little soft?
I mean, I would say we did a solid 20-minute session. And it was fine.
Okay, that's fine.
So
Okay. I was
you
gonna say, should I call up Scott Brown and be like, "Hey, buddy, pads are fluid."
No, we didn't have any issue with it.
Okay,
We,
cool.
and I was pretty hard on it. So
All right. I don't. If it gets soft,
You'll
it
be
gets
fine.
soft. It's
You'll be
not
fine.
like, brakes are funny. They don't just go to nothing anymore.
they're
There maybe in the
progressive.
'60s that happened, but it'll get soft and you get a couple laps there, and then it'll get sketchy. You get a
no,
couple
it's good.
laps
Here's
there.
the thing. I mean, you have, because of the Hellcat motor, you've got another 100+ pounds on the front end. So it pushes a little bit. Like, it's definitely a throw it in, trail brake, little lift throttle oversteer, and then hammer it out.
Okay.
Right? But once you do
Kind of like a front wheel drive car.
yeah, I mean, it's like once you do your third lap, you're like, oh, I got it now.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I was mobbing the SRT regular Jeep, the
Yeah.
641. I took to the track in Colorado.
Yeah.
And I had no problem keeping up with and passing sports cars in that.
Yeah.
And I'm not that good.
Right.
And so this should be hysterical.
Well, the nice part about which track are you going to?
Road Atlanta.
Okay, so Road Atlanta is a lot of.
Huge.
Road Atlanta is massive. Oh, so
Yeah.
you're gonna hit.
I'll probably hit the kink at $150 in this fucking
You
thing.
will. Yeah, you will. Yeah, you will. And, I mean, but who cares? Like, it's
So funny.
it handles great. It's a lot of fun.
Do you get a lot of lift at $150? How's the arrow?
It's not bad. I've had it at 150 miles an hour. They've been fine.
Really?
Yeah, I had a Durango SRT at 168.
No one ever talks about the Durangos. I got an RT as a press car once. It was very nice.
Dude.
I liked it a lot.
The SRT Durango.
Is it awesome?
It's fantastic.
Is it it's the 6.4 and rear wheel drive? Is that what
No,
it is?
6.4 all-wheel drive.
It's all-wheel drive? Okay.
I would absolutely spend my own money and buy one of those.
How much was it?
I think it was like 68.
That's a lot.
But here's the thing: it tows 8,700 pounds.
Oh,
So,
is
like-
that more than the Jeep?
Yes,
Because the longer wheelbase.
long wheelbase. So
Wow.
I would absolutely buy one if I needed a tow vehicle.
Yeah.
And that's what I would use.
8,500. That'll tow a race car in an enclosed trailer, right?
Oh, I could tow the Demon
in an enclosed
in an
trailer.
enclosed trailer behind a Durango SRT and
That'd be
be
a bad
totally
fucking
happy,
rig,
dude.
wouldn't it? That'd
Yeah.
be a sick rig.
And then you could take and the Durango will run 11s.
That's like
I
back in the day. I remember a guy when me and Larry used to go to the drag strip back in the day. There was a dude who towed his Mustang drag car with a Lightning.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
It's just slick, right?
Yeah, and one day he broke the Mustang and he ran the Lightning.
Yeah.
And he did pretty good. It was in brackets, so
Right.
like he did good. Yeah.
Well, you could go out and it's still fast. I drove it across the country, and it was great. Like you said, it was great. I loved it.
Yeah, didn't you buy it like in Florida? and drive it home or something like that?
Yeah, well, we bought the Demon in Florida, and then we were going to go to the drag strip the next day, and I literally had to put miles on it. So I called up Vinny Russo, and I go, Vin, what are you doing? He goes, nothing. I go, you want to go to Key West? He goes, when? I go, now. And I went to his house, picked him up, and we cannonballed to Key West, and then
Cannonball's a
cannonballed
loose
back.
term. It's a 30-mile-an-hour road the whole way.
Yeah, well, we
Did you
cannonballed
go
until
down?
we got to Key West.
Oh, you didn't? What's the other road? That guy was going fast and then slowed down when he got right next to me. Card Sound Road, is that it? Card Sound?
Oh,
or Sound
no.
Card
We were
Sound
going
Road,
to. Vinny
right?
wanted to go down there, and there was a fire on it.
Oh,
a literal fire, and we couldn't go down.
Yeah, Card Sound is the road that runs that terrible
Yes.
US 1 30 mile an hour.
Right.
There's like an alligator alley
Exactly.
road where you could do $150 the whole way down it. Yeah.
We were going to do that, but there
One of the
was...
sketchiest. I think they call it like the death road or something.
Yeah.
Like there's so many attempts at multi-car passes
Right.
that end with head-ons on
Right.
that road. It's crazy.
Right. But no, we had a good time, you know. But otherwise, it's just, you know, life as usual. Busy, doing a lot of writing, doing a lot of filming.
Busy is a consistent standard, I think. 'Cause
Well,
it's- in our business, our content does not have a lot of does not have a lot of carry in terms of like, oh wow, someone might see your video now or see your video later, but if they see it now, they want to know what your next video is 10 minutes later.
Yeah, and here's the other part. Like, what people don't understand about this business is, we were talking about this earlier. Nobody comes to you with ideas.
Right.
Nobody
Well, if
comes
they do,
to
they're
you.
terrible.
Right. Nobody comes to you and be like, listen, we have this idea. We want you to do this.
Yeah.
You have to go to everyone else with, say, 15 ideas. You're
Yeah.
going to throw them all against the wall, and you're going to hope that 3 stick.
Yeah.
And then maybe you'll get 2. Like,
One
that's
of
just...
the only way I could do all those one takes for those years was that the cars would come at me passively, and I could like filter feed yes, no,
Yeah.
yes, no,
Right.
yes, no. But now that I'm back to just doing press cars, I have to go after every
That's
single
right.
car.
That's right.
Nothing just comes anymore, and so it's a different mindset. You know?
Sure. Well, when you're dealing with I know, like for the House of Muscle, we get submissions from every month, right? And which is amazing. Like, fans want to be on and they want to be featured. So you can, like with the one takes, you can pick and choose exactly what you want, and you can utilize kind of that database. Whereby press cars, you need to go to the manufacturer and say, I'd like to do this. This is the reason behind it. This is what I think you're going to get.
Yeah.
For when I take, because you got to remember, anytime we get a press car, they don't just give you stuff because they like your face.
No,
like
they just give it to you if you work at Motor Trend or you work at the home office of a magazine.
Right.
But otherwise, you have to
provide them with something.
Approach them with an idea, of what you're going to do with the car, and a lot of times for me, even, most people would consider me pretty established.
Sure.
But a lot of times, me going, I'm going to do a one take or something with it, a video.
Yeah.
And that's like actually not enough.
No.
So there's a monetary value to someone giving you a press car.
Right.
And so, that doesn't mean you need to kiss their ass, and it doesn't mean you say things about the car that aren't true, and it doesn't mean you need to dilute your credibility.
Correct.
But it does mean that you need to present your case for being handed this asset.
Right. And it is. You have to remember that. Like, we get all these cars, and we're driving around fine. This is a $50,000 plus dollar car. But if you get $100,000 or $200,000 or $300,000 or $400,000 cars, that's a big deal. We're talking about vehicles that very few people in the general public will actually get to purchase or get to drive.
I was asked by someone at a major car company when I was offered a very exclusive chance for a very short time in a car that very few people get seat time in.
Yeah.
Car's very rare and of a very high value.
Yeah.
And I was asked to self-underwrite it.
Yeah.
Meaning I had to insure
the car.
This car's got an insurance card in it. It says the car's insured to Ford Motor Company.
Right.
And whatever, right?
Yeah.
But I was literally asked once, okay, you're going to drive
we
this
always
car.
have to sign like disclaimers and stuff like that.
Be careful. Hopefully you just showed that really quick.
I did. There's nothing on there.
Nothing on there? No phone numbers, address? No.
No,
Okay,
we're
cool.
good.
Got it.
If You're gonna edit it. You can blot my.
Bro, you
number
never
out.
know what. It's not on there, right? Your number's not on there, is it?
Yeah, it was.
It was?
Yeah.
Okay, just in case.
Yeah, you
I'll
block
check.
that out.
43.
Flat out number.
Remind me that later.
43.
Anyway,
Yeah, you have to underwrite it.
you have to underwrite it, and I said I couldn't. I looked up a policy because not only do they say, okay, you got to underwrite it, but they said the deal was for the next day. And so I called my insurance agent. I go, hey, can I get this
For one day?
And he went, what are you, fucking insane?
Yeah.
He goes, first off, you can't underwrite anything you don't own. You can't just buy a policy
Right.
on someone else's car.
Right.
Then he said, if you want a production insurance policy, the production insurance policy won't cover the car. It'll cover other things and humans and stuff like
Right.
that. It doesn't cover the car.
Right.
So they actually had asked me to do something that was not physically possible.
Yeah.
And I went back and I said, guys, not
Yeah.
possible.
Right.
And they went, oh, okay, we'll just insure it for you then. And they gave me the insurance. I was like, hang on a minute.
Yeah. You know how much money you just... I mean, and here's the thing, right? It is... You know, everybody that makes videos, that we go out there and we do that and we talk about this stuff, we still are liable.
Yeah.
Like, if we hit something, if we damage something, if we, you know, somebody hits us, like, I got news. Day's end, press car or not, they're still coming after us.
Yeah.
That's what it works. That's how, you know, so...
if you damage a car that's either not your fault at all,
Right.
someone smashes
the
into
hubcap
you,
flies up and hits the car,
it gets a
dings it
little
or whatever.
scratched,
That's one thing.
or if you are on a track and you have a little fuck up in
Right.
the course of making a video,
Right.
like generally you don't have to pay for that.
Right.
But if you damage someone else's property, or if you're being reckless or irresponsible or negligent over the course of how that incident happened, they'll hang you out to dry.
Yeah.
For sure.
Absolutely. And
Remember, you know who that killed
absolutely.
somebody?
Yeah, yeah.
And they hung him out to dry.
Well, and here's the
Rightly
thing.
so, I think, actually.
Well,
'Cause
that I agree with.
Yeah.
Because, well, that's another story.
Well,
but yeah.
that gets into some legal shit I
Yeah.
don't want any part of right
Yeah.
now.
You know, when you do this stuff, it's like you're only as good as your reputation.
Right.
And so, and
You only
OEMs,
have it once.
You only have it once. So OEMs, the manufacturers, will look at what you do and how you do it, and don't think that they don't vet everybody that they give a car to. Right? How long have you been doing
The
this?
speed
What's
of
your
this
viewership?
cloud, I love that.
Oh, it's like the fog monster that
I
rolls in
love
over the
that
hills. How long you been doing this? You know, because if they're going to give you something with 500 or 600 horsepower,
Yeah.
you better know what you're doing. So, and you do have a responsibility to not only portray the car the way that it was meant to be portrayed, if it's a good vehicle, okay.
Yeah, if the car's actually awful, like,
Then
you can
you
say
can say
that.
that.
You just have to explain why.
Why?
That's not, whether you like or don't like the car is almost never the issue.
Right.
It's, do you treat the car with respect while you have it?
Mhm.
Or if you're not treating it with respect, is it at least in pursuit of a shot?
Right.
You know?
Yeah, I had to do 16 burnouts.
Yeah.
Well, is it on film? No. Then
Yeah,
why did you do 16
that's-
burnouts?
yeah.
On our $500 tires, you know.
Right onto exit
Like-
142.
You know. But for the most part, it really is a lot of fun.
If you develop a reputation for being responsible,
Yeah. You're fine.
you're given a bit of leeway if you have an oops, you
Right.
know. And if you are given a reputation, or if you develop a reputation of humility with regards
Correct.
to dealing with cars and how you treat them and how
Yeah.
you know, if you return them with gas in them and you return them clean. God, that cloud! I
God.
love that shit.
We're up in Sausalito, and like the fog is literally, you can see it just
Robin
cascading.
Williams Tunnel. Look at that. That's
Well,
new, huh?
No, that's been here forever. Well, he used to live on Tiburon.
Oh, has it always been the
Yeah,
Robin?
yeah, it's
Oh, I
been there for a
thought
long
that was
time.
since he died.
He was unfortunately, he passed away. He lived on Tiburon.
Sounds nice.
Yeah, no, this is good. I like this car. Again, it feels, my only caveat with this is it feels like we're too high,
Yeah.
and the
Is this it?
windshield to hood is just, it feels like miles.
The nose is too bulbous, and I'm sitting too high up in the car for sure.
Right.
That's my beef with it.
Well, the fact
Other
is,
than
I
that-
can't put a helmet on this.
Yeah. I mean,
That's
and you're
not okay.
tall, but
I'm not that tall.
you're tall. But you're not that tall, and it doesn't have to be that way because I feel like the seats really could go lower.
Yeah. But it is nice. I mean, materials used are nice. This kind of new turn dash is quite nice.
That's better
looking.
than the old way they did it. The old way was too busy.
Yeah.
right? This is a better one.
Well, the old way looked like my old Trans Am, where this actually has a nice bit of grain to it, and it's nice. You know,
I mean, look, this is a good car for sure.
Oh,
it's
without
a good
question.
car.
Without question.
But I think I don't care about the movie Bullitt, so, and I don't particularly care about Steve McQueen. I get that people older than me think he was cool. I get that, but I think we're hanging on to that longer than we need.
Yeah, I think if you're gonna go out and you're gonna get one of these for the same money as the Bullitt, go out and get like a GT with the
Performance Pack 2.
Turn right now and then
You can go
turn
straight
left.
out.
Oops.
No, you're fine. You can go straight.
Yeah?
Yeah. You go straight. We'll come down the hill on that side.
I want to go before you drop me back off at the hotel and go home. Can we go under the Golden Gate Bridge, maybe in some fog, and I can just get a couple more pictures?
We'll go down there. I'll show you how to
Couple more
get there.
pictures.
Yeah, man.
I have to seem like I'm working for Road and Track right now. I mean, I am.
Let's just work.
But I like that I'm actually taking a lot of my own stills for the magazine stuff that I'm doing, because I finally feel like I'm
Good enough
earning
of a
money for my
photographer?
photography. Well, I mean, I was a
Yeah, but you've been
photography
taking
major
pictures for years.
I majored in it in college. I did 4 years of film photography. So the fact that to spend that much time doing photography only to end up on the other side of the camera. The irony is that I started taking photography for the exact same reason I started learning to cook, which was that it got me out of the other side of that equation.
Right.
When I was younger, I didn't like being in pictures
right
because I was very insecure, and I didn't like how I looked in pictures. And
Well, that's changed.
Yeah, I still don't like how I look in pictures, but I've gotten over it. And I started cooking because it got me out of doing dishes if I cooked. Turns out I ended up liking being on camera, and I ended up liking cooking.
Well, being on camera is actually quite fun. It's just be careful on this road, because this literally goes right down and then you stop at the place. I mean, so many, and I'm sure you get the same amount of you get probably 10 times the emails that I do, but you get people, what should I do? And it's just like, just be confident and be yourself. Don't try to put on airs for anybody. You know?
For how to be on camera?
For how to be on camera. It's
I mean, there's so much of it is personality driven.
Yeah.
And it just can't be
You can't teach it.
taught. You know, it can be practiced, it can be honed, you can work on your skills, you can work on your delivery. I tell everybody that if you want to be a good host, learn Premiere, learn how to edit.
Right.
If you know what an editor needs, then you know how to be a good host.
Then you know what to shoot as far as the film.
Exactly.
You know, more importantly than that, you know how to shoot it.
Yeah, totally.
And that's because then your editor will just look at you and go, "Oh, thank you."
Yes. I got to be, let me see if this clears. Nice. I got to be way better at hosting when I had no choice but editing myself.
Right.
And it really made, just straddle that nice. It made such a big difference.
Yeah.
So that's my first advice for doing on camera.
The one part of that, one of the parts of that is you know exactly what shots you need. Yes, go down here and then just keep going straight. You know exactly what shots you need, and you know the time span of that shot. So as opposed to rambling for 15 minutes, you're like, I need to make this 31 seconds.
Totally.
Right?
Yeah, well, that's for your traditional edited pieces, absolutely. It's sentence or two, break. Sentence or two, break. Sentence or two, break. You never want to have a run-on sentence, because an editor could always put two sentences tighter together, but you can't cut into some of those run-ons sometimes. So that made a big difference. Look at these boats, Coast Guard boats.
Coast Guard things, yeah. Did you ever see those things go? Those are the ones that can flip over.
They can roll?
They can roll, yeah.
Fucking hell, that's crazy.
Yeah.
There's always an appeal to having like just a super industrial kind of boat like that. Paul Walker had one of those, it was called a Predator or something, which is the rib boats that the cops use, you know. I think it was called a Predator or a Peacekeeper or some kind of tough sounding, you know.
Coast Guard.
Coast Guard-y name.
Drug thwarting.
Yeah, like the Liberator or some crazy shit like that. But I always wanted to drive one of those. Well, here we are at the foot of the Golden Gate Bridge.
Beautiful.
and a 53-minute podcast, right when that camera battery is about to run out.
Cool.
Plug anything you want to plug. House of Muscle?
Yeah, so for those that don't know, we haven't been with Motor Trend on The House of Muscle. We haven't been with Motor Trend for over a year. We started our new channel at youtube.com/The House of Muscle, or you could just go to thehouseofmuscle.com. And we're still doing old school stuff, but we're also doing new cars, we're doing old cars, we're doing outtakes, we're doing all that stuff. So feel free to go there and check us out.
Beard enthusiasts as well.
That's right.
Beard tips, care,
Yeah.
beard products.
Yeah, if there's a beard sponsor out there that wants, I'm in.
There it is.
I got it.
I mean, bro, I get, do you know, I get creams and I get all kinds of men shit.
I use stuff.
Yeah.
So seriously, if there's a beard sponsor, call me.
Oh, we can get you hooked up with the Brio Beardscape. That's
Absolutely.
the buzzer. I got sponsored by them.
Yeah, I need to hook up with that. Yeah,
Their money. Their money. All right, yeah. New one takes every Monday and Wednesday. Some by me, some by Zach. Podcasts every Tuesday and Thursday. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to know when the podcasts are going to be going up live, because we do them live in studio now. We have to get you back down to the studio for that.
Yeah, I would love to. You gotta drive the Demon.
I would love to drive the Demon.
Yeah.
Next time I come up here,
Yeah.
I think.
Or I'll just bring it down. I'll just drive it to LA and you drive.
Or I come on. No, I'm in Silicon Valley, dude. So, I have Impossible Burgers
Right.
and really just ride around on electric vehicles. And, yeah. So, usual shit. You know the drill. I'm not going to keep you. Mike Musto, 2019 Bullitt Mustang. I don't know if the Bullitt video is going to go up before this podcast or not, but if it does, it does. If it doesn't, it's coming up very shortly. Cool. Thanks, guys. See you later. Goodbye.
Later.